This is Digi Style with Kylie Bartlett.
Hello, my name is Kylie Bartlett, host of Digi Style, where we're doing digital a little bit differently. Today we have a cracker episode in store for you. Two amazing men. First is George Giavoski, who got the man flu one day and before you know it has woken up as a global superstar on social media. And secondly, we've got David Jens, who's going to talk about how we went from selling the MCG to selling SEO and now creating symptomology.
On Ticker, this is Digi Style with Kylie Bartlett.
So our first guest, George, as I said, went from laying on the couch with the damn man flu to waking up and literally an overnight success story where he's now a global social media superstar, also known as the school lunchbox dad, who has over 60 million views on his videos and now over 250,000 followers on social media. George, welcome to the show.
Hey Kylie, thanks for having me.
I couldn't wait to be interviewing you, a fellow Geelong boy.
Totally, yeah.
Who literally has gone from man flu to
worldwide
superstar.
It's good for something.
I know, but I'm sure a lot of our viewers know about you, especially the mums at home that have been preparing your lovely 5-minute lunches. But give us your backstory, George. Tell us a bit about you.
Well, as you said, literally I was, I used to get up to go to work quite early before anyone would wake. And one morning I was off sick, didn't go to work, and then I could hear all this commotion in the kitchen. Man flu and a half. So I run into the kitchen and I'm like, all this screaming. I've got 2 daughters and my wife, and I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, what do you mean? This is normal. This is what happens every day. I'm like, nah, there's too much love here for this. So what can I do to help? My wife said, you know what, if you could do lunches, done.
That was your task.
That was
if you
it.
could just get the
Just
lunches out of the way.
And in the mornings.
How long was it taking your wife to do the lunches most days?
About 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, okay, and that's a lot at it when you're trying to boot the kids out.
It is, because the school bags, getting them dressed and organised for the day. So it did take some time. But I said, yeah, I could do lunches. And then I had no idea. So I started looking online for inspiration. I found it was either too complicated. You get some of those lunches that look like panda bears with rare tropical eyes from Zimbabwe, fruit that's just non-existent. So it scared me. And then there was the too many nutritional facts that scared me. So I just stopped looking, started creating. One day, after a few months, I got the hang of it. And the girls got a note back from a teacher saying, hey, your mum should put this on Instagram.
Interesting. So it was the teachers that
Correct.
thought it was the mum that said it should go on Insta.
Yeah. And then I thought, okay, what is Instagram? I had no idea. This is 4 years ago. So then I downloaded it, started, and then before you know it, the TV networks are on the phone and media.
Have you got a background in cooking? Like, are you a chef?
No, I'm a dad. I work full time. So I work full time as a project manager estimator. So I work.
So no background in cooking?
No, I did the Jamie Oliver course like 6-7 years ago because it was given as a gift, so I did that.
And I believe, a little plug here, that you are Australia's only Jamie Oliver ambassador.
Yeah, he's the only one in the world.
In the world? I thought it was just Australia.
Yeah, Australia. Well, he doesn't have any. I'm the only one in outside of the UK. So yeah, I was invited to be his ambassador about 18 months ago. And we have a good, strong relationship.
Fantastic. So back to the story. So you created these lunches and you got them down to a fine art.
Got them down to a fine art. I just literally stopped looking, put the blinkers on, and I just created, I was inspired by adult food. Like, my girls liked ravioli. So I thought, well, I'm going to turn bread into ravioli in 20-30 seconds. And I did. And so we'd call them Ravwich, ravioli sandwich. Same with spring roll, spring witch, and dumplings. And so I used bread to make simple ingredients.
And it's about being creative as well, wasn't it? Your lunchbox, when you open it up, it's like a rainbow of colour.
Totally, and that's the inspiration, the colour of the rainbow, using fresh produce. The number 5 was my theory, so I'd have 2 fruits and 3 veggies. And if you do that, you've got all the nutritional facts covered for the day for them. And then I just put in a fun sandwich, but now I do all sorts of things like mini croissants, pizza scrolls, and they're all, that I've created and developed, and that are uniquely mine, sort of dad style.
They're unbelievable, and I love your egg with the hearts. And
I
must say, I'm a little bit of a stalker on your stuff. And I watched you get onto onto TikTok the other day. We'll talk about that in a minute. I went, yes, he's finally on TikTok.
Yeah, mainly because of my daughters, but they pushed me along. But the whole idea was connecting with real parents. So, and being a real parent myself, it was easy. So the social media thing took off because
I remember the day. I
Yeah, you do?
distinctly
It's
remember
so cool.
the day where you said, "What's this thing called Insta something?"
Yeah,
Instagram,
yeah, that's me.
and now how many are you on Instagram
Oh,
now?
it's about 125.
3,000, I think, when I looked on the week, and 125,000 or something.
Yeah, it's just gone crazy. Same with Facebook's crazy. You know, fully verified, which I had no idea.
You got the blue tick.
Blue tick, 2 of them, which
My
is good.
hero.
There you go. The funniest was I had American Express magazine call me at 5 in the morning one day. And I'm thinking, oh, I haven't paid my American Express bill. They're chasing me for money. And they're like, no, you've just been announced
Inspirational lunch creator of the world.
of
or
the
something.
world. And I'm like, wow. So they, you know, it just freaks me out how the power of social media can literally reach everyone and anyone.
And so how do you come up with these ideas? I mean, the other day I was watching you when you literally turn the toaster on the side and you're making this little pizza oven.
Yeah,
and
that's me. I tend to I've always been creative. I used to love my music. I play guitar, but having kids, I shifted my focus from myself, my music, to my children and how my creativity can benefit them. So then I started becoming creative in the kitchen and all these fun ideas. Like I make pancakes using a protein shaker.
You and your protein shaker, I've seen some amazing things
Crazy.
come out of that
It's
protein
crazy.
shaker.
Yeah, muffins, cakes, you know, all sorts of quiches and briches that I create. And yeah, so I just keep it really simple. And that's been my to be honest, my way of connecting with real people is being real.
I want to talk about that a little bit, George, because I think what I'm hearing here, and there seems to be a commonality with those that are doing really well on social, is that they have a very much audience-centric approach.
Yep.
It's not look at me, it's how can I look at you,
Yep.
how can I make your day easier, how can I put a smile on your face?
Yep.
And I love the story about your 2 girls. I mean, you're just one big love bubble,
Yeah,
and this
totally.
is all about making their day, making them happy. I love the story you told about your front lawn with the
yeah,
love. Tell me about that.
Okay, so what I do is, like with the lunches, I want them to open the lunches and go, wow, like, and feel the love. Yeah, and making the creative lunches that are bright and colourful, for me, it's an expression of love to my children. Right? It's just a form of expression. Some people paint, I put lunches together. And same with the front lawn, like when I mow the lawn, I can't just cut the grass. I cut in love hearts, one on the nature strip and one in the front yard. And what it's for is when my girls are feeling pretty down or had a bad day at
And with
school.
COVID at the moment, we're
God, I
homeschooling.
tell you what, so I make them stand in it until they've recharged their hearts. And
I just love it.
it is cool. And it's funny because people walking by, there's one for everyone on a nature strip, and people will take photos in it, jump in it, lie down, take photos. And my daughters use it to recharge their hearts. Sometimes they stay in it for 10 seconds, sometimes they're there for a few minutes.
So instead of putting go into the naughty room and go
No.
stand in the corner, you send them off to the heart.
It's all about recharging the love. And I am a bit of a hippie at heart, and you know, I do believe in love, and that's a form of expression. And whether it's a love heart on a lawn or a healthy lunch, it's all love.
I love it. I love it. I love the love.
Yes.
So talk to us about your book deal, because
Yep.
now you've been published.
Yep.
Your cookbook, it's sold globally. I think you shared with me it sold out pre-sale within a day or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So what happened is I was approached by Macmillan Publishing, and they're like the world's biggest foodie cookbook or cooking book company. So they approached me and they said, "We love what you do. It's real, authentic. You know, we want to do a book." So we did, and they gave me all the creativity I wanted. So it's not just a cookbook. It's almost like a little inspirational book of you know, ideas and just parenting.
Love hearts?
Lots of love hearts. You know, my bad dad jokes. You know, my top 30 odd recipes, and you know, shopping list, my story. There's everything there, and so it's quite unique. Nothing like that at all around. And upon pre-order release, so it was pre-ordered, it could be purchased like a month before, it sold out. So then it went into second print before release date, and the publisher has never remembered that happening.
Wow.
So they're like, "Dude, you're crazy. This is good." You know, I'm like, "Really?" And
They're
I
going
just have-
ka-ching, ka-ching.
I have no idea. So you know, then we did all the tours around Australia, and it went nuts. You know, now it's at all like Kmart, Big W, Target, Dymocks, all the good bookstores. It's available online, and it's cheap. It's like $15.
Yeah, so cheap.
So
eh?
it's good, and I love it. You know, and it's not about me. It's about the journey that my daughters and I do together, because one day we're going to look back at this and go, hey, remember when we
What
ruled
a
the
ride.
lunchbox world?
What a
you know?
ride. I think you're going to be ruling
yeah.
the lunchbox world for a very long time,
See how we
George.
go. See how
So
we
what
go.
I'd like to talk to you about now is, like, in terms of social media,
Yep.
how have you gone about doing your social? What are your predictions for the future? Because you are so real. You are so, what you see is what you get. And how has that played out when you created this brand to getting as successful as you are today?
Well, initially, my mission was, I had no mission, was just to get out, try and inspire as many parents and carers as possible. That was the mission. And because that mission didn't involve money, when companies would approach me and say, hey, we want to pay you to use our product, I'll be like, yeah, no. You know,
Why did you say no?
because it wasn't aligned to my beliefs. Like, it either had too much sugar, it wasn't good for my kids, you know, it was like a cookie brand company, or like a vacuum cleaner company that has nothing to do with me, as though many would jump at that opportunity.
And you haven't. You've stayed true to your
No,
values
yeah.
and what you believe in.
Exactly. So for me, the power of saying no was the secret to the success. And I didn't realize that until later. So then I figure, well, hang on, that's been good. And as a result, I got approached by bigger and larger companies that are aligned with what I do, that appreciate the fact that I haven't sold out and cashed in on the vacuum cleaner deal, you know, all of that sort of stuff. So,
Or steak knives.
Or steak knives, that's right. So for me, it was the power of saying no was the secret. So therefore, the only advice I could give is, okay, I'm going to stay true to myself. I'm going to have a long-term plan, and I'm going to try and align myself with the companies I want.
Yes.
And I'm going to reach out to like the likes of, you know, say Jamie Oliver or these guys. I want to get their attention by being me, not by the amount of followers I have or the amount of
great.
likes I get. So I never buy followers or likes, because you'll never get verified. You know, you never get that blue tick if you do that. So I had this little journey in mind, and then it all worked out. You know?
Yeah, fantastic. And me being a secret TikTok addict, like I can be known to be on there for 2 or 3 hours a night, I will declare that. And I noticed you jump on there about 3 weeks ago and I go, yes! The school lunchbox dad is on here. And I looked overnight, 1 minute you've got a couple of fans, and now what are you up to? I think on the weekend, 23,000, 26,000.
Yeah,
So talk to me about why you jumped on TikTok, because a lot of our viewers and a lot of my network have said, it's only for the kids, why would I jump on there? But you've got a theory around the mums and what they're doing.
Totally, like you gotta, like TikTok, if you're a brand or if you want to grow, you have to get on TikTok like yesterday. Reason being is it hasn't been overpopulated.
The early adopters are the ones that are going to
Correct.
grab the digital real estate, right?
Yep, totally. And the way it works with algorithms, it's quite different to Instagram.
Yes.
And like you could have 1 follower and your video can have 1 million views, because it's all about the content in the video. So brands are now not looking at the type of influencer. In fact, influencer's got nothing to do with it. It's the type of content they create.
Yes, and to get onto the For You page, right?
That's right. And then if you're good at what you do and you believe in your product, it doesn't have to be a song and dance like most people do. In fact, it's overpopulated with song and dance moves on TikTok.
I'm seeing a lot of businesses jump on there now
You've
that
got
are
to
not
get
song
on
and
it.
dance.
You have to, because it keeps it, as I said, it's about the content, and it's untouched. And companies are now trying to figuring out, should we look at influencers on TikTok?
Well, it's the mums, right?
Mums, yeah. Like 97% of my followers are women from the age of 25 to 45. And on TikTok, that's like they're on there. That's where they're at. So that's my target, and that's who I'm targeting, and that's where they are. So you go where your audience is.
Yeah, good one, George. And so give your book one quick plug before we end.
Lunchbox Express, available at Dimmicks, Target, Kmart,
All
everywhere.
good bookstores.
Just get it.
Thanks for your time, George.
Thanks, Steve.